Hey folks, Belgrade Beat on the streets once again, and I'm happy to report in my second video today that I have now purchased property in Serbia. It's been a wild ride. A lot of you might remember that in February I posted a video that I was going to purchase property in Serbia, and yes, it has taken this long for it to all come together. I mean, when you're dealing with a property that was owned by people who lived there for multiple generations, I mean, it's not just easy to just, move them. As much as they wanted it to go quicker as well. But there's always some hassle. Multiple levels of multiple hassles when you're trying to do something like buy property. I mean, so the first initial hassle was part of the property. Now, so it's like a larger sort of rural property, and part of that was under the name of one of their ancestors who had died. Now, lots of the time people just leave it like this when somebody dies because, I don't know, maybe there's like some benefit in terms of taxation or whatever, or bill collection or something like that. I forgot exactly what it is, but yeah, this had to be dealt with, and yeah, it took a while to resolve, and the whole thing just, yeah. Then the next thing was I had to open up a limited liability company to buy the property. So I am now owner of an agricultural / property owning company in Serbia, which is a DOO, which is a limited company, because I'm, it's the consulate of Thailand. Hello, Thailand. I'm going to go visit you soon. You just have to get rid of that quarantine. Anyways, back to Serbia, my property purchase. So from February until July, yeah. So started a company. Now this was, of course, the dreaded bureaucracy to go to the notary, certify the documents. I've got a team, one finance guy and one lawyer involved in helping me purchase this property, plus my friend Daryl, who owns the house across the street from the property, helping out with this, and his wife Maria. Thank you to everyone for your help. And yes, I started the company, and then the real action began last Thursday, where I had an appointment in Aranjalovac, which is the city which is close to where the property is at, and had to sign the document at the notary. Of course, the appointment was supposed to be done in less than 1 hour, but it's Serbia, so it took about 3 hours. The notaries noticed something they didn't like about the contract, even though they had previously approved the contract to be signed. And we had to call the lawyer, who was, at the time that we were trying to reach him, in court. And so basically this means that, yeah, what was supposed to take 1 hour took 3 hours. Me and Aranjalovac sitting with the people I'm buying the property from, sitting there and just trying to figure out what the heck to do. So then that had a cascading domino effect of things falling over, because I was supposed to go and make the payment later that day in the bank. So I didn't get to make the payment in the bank, or I didn't get to the bank until Friday, where, yeah, then I had exchanged the money from euros in my personal account to buy the property. And then they needed a special piece of paper for exchanging the euros. No, that was fine, but then they needed a special piece of paper to add the money to the limited company that I opened just for buying this property, some special board of directors meeting, and I'm the board of directors, me approving myself to give myself money into the company that I own paper, which seems a bit ridiculous, but yeah, that took a while. And well, soon, after sitting there for a bunch of time, I was out of time, and I went on my way to the weekend, where we had a good meetup. And then this morning I went back to the bank with about 5 hours in my schedule where I could just, do it till it's done. So 9 a.m. I went to the bank with the paper that the legal and finance team sent to me about changing the money, or transferring the money in dinars into the account. And then I got the money in the company account, and then once I did that, this is Raiffeisen Bank, by the way, which, from my opinion, are kind of like the best of a bad lot of horrible institutions in Serbia, but they're the best one, even though they're also horrible. All the banks here are ridiculously bureaucratic, and that's the system and the way it's set up. But, I recommend them. But I would recommend you bank in another country if you can, because Serbia is ridiculous, right? So then I had to go to the other thing and make the payment to Verica, the owner of the property that I have now purchased. And that all happened, but then there was an authentication call. It's like, do you really want to transfer this number of millions of dinars to these people? Da 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 da. Yes, I do. I really, really do. And this is why cryptocurrency is becoming a lot more popular in the world, is because you can get to transact financially without all these people all the time asking you what you're doing with your frickin' money. So think about that. But anyways, so it should be about a week until I get possession of the property. It's supposed to happen this weekend, but Ivan, the son of Verica, who's selling me the property, just messaged me and said he needs a couple more days. It won't be ready this weekend because it was raining the last few days, and one of the things they need to do is install a brand new septic tank in the property and all that sort of stuff. So it won't happen this weekend. I'll be in Belgrade this weekend, but then 2 weeks from today I will be there and starting to fix it up and all this sort of stuff. There's some idea of maybe if some of my subscribers would like to go on a day trip with me sometime there, involving food and just hang out with me, eat with me for a day on a Saturday or a Sunday or something. We could do that if people are willing to pay a little bit of money for covering the costs and all that sort of stuff. Then we could set that up. If you're interested in seeing this property, it's about 70 kilometers, so an hour and a half driving outside of the city, and it's beautiful, the hills of Sumadijan. And just come and enjoy some fun over there with me and my friends Daryl and Maria, who are there. Maybe they'll be there. They're actually like very famous TV chefs here in Serbia, and I'm a pretty good chef too, so we could prepare some food and have a nice Sumadijan experience. So if you're interested in that, please comment below and watch for further videos where, if I'm gonna do that, I will promote that and we will do it. It would be like leave Belgrade in the morning, come back in the evening sort of thing. Hopefully with some good stories and good times. So that's the update on the property. It's absolutely miserable dealing with these people in this country who work in these offices. That's why I'm so excited about digitalization of infrastructure and working from home and all this sort of stuff. So I have to spend a minimum amount of time going to these offices and sitting with these people who hate their lives in all of these like notary places, in all of these like banks, and all of these government offices. It's not my vibe. It's not my vibe. It's not my vibe. And I just get a stressful reaction when I have to go to these places. I have to take deep breaths and long walks afterwards to get back good with myself. And I'm working on that. That's obviously my psychological trauma that I'm creating for myself around the idea of having to go in these offices and sit with these people and sign these documents. Like, one of my trauma is around writing, because I have very bad handwriting, and people when I was a child told me I wasn't good enough because of it and all that sort of stuff. So I just hate bureaucracy offices. A lot of people do, and thankfully the digitalization and that's occurred in my lifetime has actually made it easier to get through these things from the comfort of your own home digitally. And so but it's all going to be worth it when I can sit on my land. I called the company Grounding Earth because I want to just ground myself on this earth for a little bit, for a couple months, and just feel the connection with the agriculture, the land of the countryside in Sumadijan, where all of this sort of like wonderful food that I eat comes from. All of this sort of like agriculture is the backbone of this country, and I'm looking forward to getting to know a lot more about that lifestyle and that sort of like way of living. And so I'm ready to connect with that side of Serbian life, because you only ever get a small glimpse of it when you come to a place like this in the market. So I'm gonna buy some vegetables now, I do it on Monday to eat healthy throughout the week. Watermelons seem to be in season, but I don't like to have too much fruit, except for berries, which are full of antioxidants. But yeah, I'm gonna do my thing here, folks. Bye. I'll catch you later.